The Rock Doc. I like that. So, we didn't, because of the time and the mix ups, I haven't marketed this yet, but I'll get clips out of it. I've got an AI video editor that produces all of our clips, and we'll share that on social. So I know we're going to have a lot of people watching. So finally, I can't, I actually have to do this. Hang on. And a big applause. Rachel, Steedman, welcome to the show. Doc, thanks for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Yep. How long have we been trying to do this?
Oh, it's not long after South Africa last year, I think.
Yep, correct.
A year in the making.
A year in the making, and well worth the wait. So thank you so much for your time, for joining us, and looking forward to chatting with you. So hang on a second. Where are you? Because I noticed when you were showing me the dogs, there's a bit of a rack. There's a bar back there. This your home gym?
Yeah, so we've got... Which way? I spin it around. Yeah, we've got a setup in
brilliant.
Upstairs in our office.
Okay.
Combo rack, but mainly use it for benching, and only when we can't get to our gym in Darlington, because we train at a fantastic facility in Darlington that opened up last year just before I went to Worlds.
Okay.
So it's called Northeast Strength Culture. It's phenomenal. We've got everything there. Six racks. They've got benches. They've got combo racks. Everything you could ask for in a gym, and a great community as well.
Awesome.
So we spend most of our time there.
Okay, that's very good. And I think that's something that we can touch on, absolutely. But first, give us a little bit of a rundown. Who are you? Who is Rachel?
Okay, so I'm Rachel. I've been powerlifting for 9.5 years now. I had my first international debut for Team GB in 2019, which was the World Bench in Japan.
Okay.
Since then, I have put... I think I finished on 105 kilos in Japan, and most recently at the European bench in Istanbul, I finished on 157.5 kilos and a podium finish. So a long way in a short time. My day job, I work as a doctor in the NHS. I'm in my second year of training to be an orthopedic surgeon, hopefully, in the long run.
Awesome.
And I also like sports medicine as well, which is sort of ties in with the powerlifting and my previous injuries as well, with my knee that I had when I was younger.
Okay, sure. What got you into powerlifting?
So it was through my partner, Matthew. So we met 9.5 years ago, and around about that time, I had.
So was that part of the? Was that part of the interview process to date? He said, no. "Right, what's your bench?"
No. So I had been playing hockey with the university team, and we've been training sort of every day. But my knee injury that I'd had when I was younger started to flare up again. So I decided to give hockey up, and around about that time, that's when I met Matthew. And I'd been going to the gym with my friend. I needed a bit of direction. So he gave me a typical 5x5 program to start off with, and then the rest is history.
Fantastic.
Just stuck with it because I love it so much.
I've been involved with martial arts since the age of 4. I've been fortunate enough to, well, I don't want to use the word have fought or, sparred with or trained with some of the best fighters in the world. I prefer to say I've been beaten to a pulp by some of the best fighters in the world. And I'll say this, not as dangerous as playing hockey. No, that is the most dangerous sport in the world.
Yeah. No, field hockey is interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I've had a ball to my head, and I tore my cruciate ligament playing hockey. That was my main injury. I'm a cartilage.
Oof. Okay. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, not fun. So into powerlifting, met Matthew, and then how did that evolve? When was your first competition?
So it took me 2 years before I did my first competition. So we trained to the point with the 5x5 that I couldn't then add any more weight onto the bar. And then after that, we moved on to kind of hypertrophy phase, and then I was at St Andrews at the time. So by sort of end of 2016, we were looking at the Scottish Universities and Colleges Championships.
Mm-hmm.
So we entered that, and that was my first competition then. And then the following year, I'd finished my training at St Andrews, so we went to Glasgow University, and that's when I found out that they actually had a team. So I became part of the Glasgow University team, and we went to the World University Championships the following year in 2018 in Prague. So that's
Right.
my first experience of an international.
They're absolutely phenomenal. Sorry, I mean, I know we live, but I just realized, hang on, I might be getting myself into trouble here. Yeah, I got to jump into a meeting at 1 o'clock. I completely forgot about.
Oh gosh.
So tell you what, let's. I'm just gonna message him, tell him I'm running 10 minutes late, and we can go on for 10. Is that good for you? So at least we can do this for like 25 minutes, right? This is like
Good, yeah.
there's something crazy about this. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I didn't because I just booked it yesterday. Hang on 1 sec. My sincere apologies. Could we please start at 10 minutes after my podcast interview is running a little bit late? All right, perfect, done. All right, cool. Okay, so and then we'll have you back on, right? Sorry, so we had a mix-up with the time zones. You forgot you guys are now 2 hours behind because you've gone into
Yeah.
winter. Sorry,
Yes. It's all right.
crazy. All right, so your first comp, what was that like?
I remember it being quite sort of scary, and I think about a week before the competition, I twinged my knee as well, so I thought that was the end of that. I won't be able
Ooh,
to compete. So got quite upset, thinking that I wasn't going to be able to go. And then things turned out to be okay. I remember I had my family there, and I had Matthew there as well. He was handling me. And at that point, I used to be a lifter that stayed quite calm before I went onto the platform. That's completely changed now. I now have a kind of set routine that I like to do before I come on to the platform, and that involves getting myself quite hyped up, but then calming down again before I do the lift. And I find that really helps with my kind of overall psyche when it comes
okay,
to doing the lift as well.
100%. So then, and how did you? Firstly, how did that comp go?
I think, what did I think my first total was about 330 something kilos, I
Mm-hmm.
think, in the 72 category.
Okay,
I remember I've always been a good bencher, so I managed to get, I think it was a 70 bench or 75 bench that I managed to get that competition.
that's fantastic.
100 and, thank you, 140 deadlift, and I think it was about 115, 120 squat maybe. But the best that I've ever achieved was 137.5 raw squat,
Mm.
87.5 bench, and a 155 deadlift
Right,
since.
sure.
But obviously, my
Wow.
knees are different for the equipped side of things as well.
Yeah. So, what do you prefer, the equipped or the classic, or is there a love for both?
Definitely equipped.
Okay, much better.
Yeah.
Just because it's more
Oh yeah.
technical?
I like the kind of camaraderie and the team side of things for the equipped, because you have to have so many more people around you to be able to help you
Yes.
get into and out of the kit,
Yes.
and to manipulate the kit as well to the best numbers on the platform. And because it's growing as well, that there's more people getting into it, and there's more people that you can encourage into it as well. I really do enjoy it.
Yes. Okay.
But we still have a lot of classic aspects in my training, to
Right.
improve all the parts of the equipment. So that's also very important.
And a lot of fun. So, your first international, tell us about that. What was that like being picked?
It was absolutely phenomenal, and I think the experience never gets old. Every time you have that letter through from the head coach, it just brings that sense of accomplishment every single time that it happens. And it's something that I continue to aspire to do every single competition that I have, to get picked for these internationals and to
Right.
get better, to get to that standard that people are continuing to reach to be able to get into the team.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, just amazing.
Oh, that's phenomenal. You
Yeah,
know,
I think I even
Yep.
I even remember when the letter came through. Yeah, it's just the letter came through on my email, and yeah,
Was there
where
dancing
I
and
was, what I
singing,
was doing,
jumping around a little bit?
maybe a little bit, yeah.
Absolutely. So we
Bit.
met at Sun City. So the first competition in that venue, first comp at Sun City. And just to clarify, not this year, last year. What was that like for you? What did you think of the venue, the comp? How was that at World Bench?
It was phenomenal. It was a really fantastic venue in a wonderful location, really, really spacious, and it gave great atmosphere to have the focus on. It was just the one stage, but to have the focus on the one
Yeah.
stage with everyone watching. Plenty of warm up space through the back. There was a nice little kind of practice area as well, and obviously you had the chiropractors in. So really, it was fantastic setup. Obviously SBD were there, and there was a couple of other stalls as well,
Yeah.
with the backdrop of the wonderful Sun City. So yeah, it
And
was
that
fantastic. Really
and
enjoyed it.
great location. I think at Bench as well, there was like food stalls outside on the deck. You could get some
Yeah.
burgers or hot dogs and stuff, which was great. And then they had the good coffee store inside this year, which wasn't bad. The coffee was, yeah, it was okay. So, and then for you now, a couple of questions. What does powerlifting mean to you?
It's a good question.
Thank you.
It's
I'm
it's
here to ask the
a
tough
part of me.
questions.
Yeah. It's a part of me. It's a part of my life, and incorporating it into my life, and it's something that I get to share with Matthew.
Hmm.
So when we don't actually get a lot of time together, we get to go into the gym and we get to push each other forward in what we do and to share that experience. And obviously going to internationals together as well is a big part of our lives, and getting to spend that time together. um, and also for me, it's a good de-stress from work.
Yeah.
I find that sometimes when everything else is going wrong in my life, I can always come back to powerlifting. I can find the gym's like a safe space that I can go to. I've got a program that I can follow, and that keeps me going in the right direction. So when I feel like everything else isn't, then I can always come to lifting and feel good after lifting.
Oh,
And it
phenomenal.
puts my mind at rest.
Okay. Yeah, spot on. That's phenomenal. How valuable has it been in your relationship with Matthew, having this thing that you can do where you're forcing yourselves to spend quality time together?
Yeah, no, it is really important because we sometimes have opposite shift patterns.
Yes.
So during the week, Matthew works shift. So I go to the gym in the evening sometimes. And when he's off, we get to go together. So we go together today. And that is a time that we get to spend together that we won't have later when he's at work. So when we haven't seen each other, we don't see each other, it's very nice to have that place that we can go to and do something together and know that we're working towards something together as well.
Hey, 100%. The thing is that when you struggle to spend time together, and then you have separate interests that you need to do for your mental health, your well-being, that can also be separate, but being able to do them together, just epic, right?
Yeah.
100%. Awesome.
Yeah, and it's taken us over the world as well, which we love.
Yeah, 100%. What's your favorite trip been this year?
I think probably Texas.
Okay. Was fun?
Texas for the World
Because
Bench.
of the
That was,
barbecues?
yeah, really good. Yeah, a little bit because of the food as well.
Yeah.
That's another shared interest of ours.
Huh?
Yeah. No, we really
Oh,
enjoyed that
brilliant.
one.
Okay. So, two more questions. What's your favorite thing about powerlifting?
The camaraderie, the
Okay.
team that you make, and the team that you form, and the friendships that you form all over the world,
Yes.
local, national, international. I would say is the best thing.
These got like this kind of craziness, right?
Yeah, Yeah, like
there's
see,
something
I've got
happening up there, like, and then me forgetting about my 12, then it's like this, and we missed it last, and we got the week wrong, and then this, and then I forgot. And yeah, 100%. It's a very, very special bunch of people. What drives you mad about
yeah, definitely.
powerlifting?
Oh, that is a good question. A couple of things I would say is people's misunderstanding of powerlifting and women in strength sports.
So wait,
I would
when they
still
they
say
go
that,
powerlifting, oh that,
yeah, that
right?
the general public is still weightlifting or bodybuilding, or a lot of the questions I
Mm.
get is, oh, you don't look like
Yeah,
this,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
butch essentially. And I kind of go, well, no, you don't have to be like that. And another question is always, why are you in a sport where you don't get any money for it, or why is there no money in
yeah,
powerlifting? Why are you doing something where you don't get any funding or you don't get any money for, competing at an international level for your country? And it'd be great if it was, but it's not my sole reason for doing lifting. It's
yeah,
just something that I
absolutely.
think the sport will eventually come into at some point, and we'll be able to give at some point, but we're still in that process of getting there at the moment.
Well, I mean, that's why we're doing this, right? And marketing and promoting and growing it, because we want to, we want to make this more valuable than Formula One. And I'm not joking. So, that's my 20-year goal with this thing. Absolutely. But it's such a great point that you made about the perception of women in strength sports. Like, won't that make you bulky like a man? And then you go, well, some of the boys have been training for 5 years and they don't even look like guys yet. You know.
Yeah, no, I like, especially in I get I think I get a little level of respect in orthopedics for
Yeah.
having that strength, because the first question I always get, and I, I think a lot of other women might get, is, oh, you do powerlifting, so how much do you bench press then?
Yeah.
And that seems to be the most important question that guys who don't lift or do lift in the gym want to ask me or other women. And it's great when you get the reaction of saying what you bench press and they kind of go, oh, okay.
And when it's more than them, absolutely. So, I mean, studying to
Yeah.
be an orthopedic surgeon, knowing the intricate workings of the body, the structural stuff, the loading, the connective tissues, the challenge within NHS of seeing, well, within NHS, seeing the challenges of aging as you get, we're getting an older, the boomers are all moving through. How valuable is strength training? Why would you tell people to do powerlifting?
Because it can help prevent against what we see the majority of patients come in with in the elderly population to orthopedics, which would be hip fractures, wrist fractures,
Sure.
sort of what we kind of term as like fragility fractures. So obviously any people with weak bones or people with not much muscle mass who are going to have falls and break their bones more easy than
Hmm.
people who have that little bit more muscle mass that can protect them when they fall or stop them from falling, for example, from sitting to standing or standing to sitting. So it's a really important part. And actually, I have had people at work that sort of say, oh, I'm too old to start that, and they're only in their 50s or 60s. And I go, well, actually, I do know
Yep.
people that have started at that age and they're now world champions, or,
Yep.
they actually have stopped themselves from falling, or they've increased their bone density and their muscle mass, which has prevented them against osteoporosis.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
actually, it's a fantastic addition, and something that hopefully the NHS will push towards giving more people in the future.
That would be absolutely phenomenal. And I think also the community, right? Because for so many older people, it's the isolation that's the biggest killer, the loneliness. That you
Yeah.
lose your mobility, you can't go and visit your mates. Now you got to go to the gym and hang out with awesome powerlifters. Could anything be better
Oh
than
yeah.
that? Huh?
Yeah, definitely. Like it is that sense of community, and even if people couldn't make it to the gym, you would always find someone in that community that would go to pick that person up and
Yeah.
bring them there and show them how to do
Oh,
these. exercises and encourage them as well.
Yeah.
Like, no one's going to say no to someone if it's going to help them in the long term.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love that. You know, it is the most valuable special thing that we can do, and you know, I love it. I mean, look what happened to me. I mean, I stopped competing in like 2016 or 2017, and I got bullied by my clients into competing again. You know, and it was really cool to like. I had the most fun, like, you know, competing while I'm announcing. So I'm running around in my singlet. It was fun. Okay, I'll let you in on a little secret. It was so comfortable announcing in a singlet and not in my, you know, IPF blazer and tie. So I'm going to try and do that as often as possible now. Oh, awesome.
Should be the uniform.
Absolutely. Yeah, we should all have to walk. Can you imagine all the officials in singlets? That would be a blast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. The image out of the head. So, what is there anything sort of just before we wrap up? And I would love to chat to you again because I think there's a lot that we can go into. Anything you would like to sort of share or touch on before we wrap up?
Just to encourage everyone into powerlifting that might not know about it already, because it's got fantastic health benefits both physically and mentally, and it really has helped me through some of the toughest times, to be honest.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is from, as we said before, you know, spending time with my partner, but also spending time with friends in the gym and going to these competitions. And it can help with discipline, especially for younger ones, and teach them lots of skills that they might not otherwise know
Be
about
a
or learn about.
Oh, fantastic. Absolutely. Rachel, thank you so much for your time. Sorry that there was another mix up. I'm going like this. Okay. Look at me. I'm a 1970s DJ and I love it. It's been so awesome to catch up. It's been so awesome to chat. Please, can we do this again as well?
Absolutely.
All right, fantastic. I'm just going to end the podcast and then I'll just chat to you quickly. So, guys, you heard it there, Dr. Rachel Steedman. It's good for you in every way. That's medical advice from an international athlete and doctor. Don't argue with the doctor. All right, thank you so much, Rach. We'll chat to you now.